Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2021 action thriller Wrath of Man, a film that is directed by Guy Ritchie and it stars Jason Statham, Holt McCallany, Josh Hartnett, Jeffrey Donovan and Scott Eastwood. Now this film follows Jason Statham's character, who is simply called H, who is a bit of a man of mystery. He gets a job at a local armoured car company after two employees are murdered in the line of duty. He is constantly reminded of this on his first day, but it turns out he actually might be able to handle himself a little bit better than people realise, and his reasons for being there might be far more personal than people realise. Right, what are my thoughts on Wrath of Man? Well, I've heard wildly different reviews on this. I've heard people review this really enjoying it, and I've heard people review it that just weren't that keen on it at all. I think that's fair to say. And I'm somewhere in the middle on this. I did enjoy aspects of this film a great deal. I do like Guy Ritchie as a director. He has, when he's tried to do things a little bit differently, he's usually worked in a lot of the films he's done. I like his Sherlock Holmes film, for example. I like The Gentleman. I like Snatch. And obviously he and Jason Statham they have worked together 4 times now, I think, in movies. So I've obviously got a good relationship and a good chemistry in front of and behind the camera. I think the problem I had with this film, I thought it had a very strong start to the film. And I was really starting to get into it. I mean, the film almost has a High Plains Drifter vibe to it, or we're crossed between Heat and then Den of Thieves, which Den of Thieves is a bit of a soft reboot of Heat anyway, in many ways. So it kind of borrows heavily from other films, but it doesn't borrow the best bits, if you like. It's quite predictable, the film. There's a man on the inside on the armoured car company who's, it won't take you long to figure out who that is. It's kind of slaps you in the face, I think. And narratively, it's all over the place. We all know how Guy Ritchie, how he likes to film his films. They're hard to follow sometimes because they're all over the place in regards to telling the story. They're jumping back and forth, time jumps back and forth, sideways, all over the place, telling the story from different perspectives, and this film is no different. You have the strong opening to the film, and then you get told the story of why Jason Statham's there from his perspective. Then you get told the story who these bank robbers are, from their armoured car robbers are from their perspective, and it just keeps doing that, shifting it and twisting it. The story, and the trouble is, I'm not sure why it tried to tell the story from these armoured car robbers' perspective, because none of them were nice people at all because of what they were doing, full stop. They were basically money grabbing mercenaries, and Scott Eastwood's the worst of the lot. Very much like Heat, there's like a rotten one in the bunch that likes killing a little bit too much. Guess what? It's Scott Eastwood's character, and that's not hard to figure out fairly quickly. There's people in this film that should have been given more to do. Josh Hartnett, whatever happened to Josh Hartnett? I mean, 10, 15 years ago, this could have been a starring vehicle for him. And he's got to make do with this bit part in this film, and he's better than that. Again, same with Jeffrey Donovan. You see him a lot in movies like this playing similar roles, either on the good side or the bad, the cop or the robber. And again, it's getting a bit predictable and boring seeing him do similar roles over and over again. And then the film promises some really cool set pieces in regards to action. You see him when the armoured truck someone tries to rob it, you see him go into action, Statham, and you think, God almighty, makes Jason's Bourne look like an amateur. And then you never really get to see it again. You think right at the end there's like this big robbery taking place, and you think it's going to be this huge, massive action set piece, and it is to some degree. But I really thought we were going to get to see the Stave showing off his skills in this final scenes, and we don't really. Much of the time, he's nullified in the action sequence, and it's not as if the other characters in the film get to shine really either. I could understand it maybe if that were the case. So the problem is, None of the characters are particularly likable, so I didn't understand why he was telling it from different perspectives, Guy Ritchie. Even though you completely understand why Jason Statham is doing what he's doing, when you understand why he is doing what he's doing, you completely get it. It's quite clear that his character has got a very, very shady past indeed, and has done a lot of questionable things. So it's hard to get behind his character completely as well, because he's not a particularly likable character either in this film. And he's got more personality than it is allowed to give in this film as well. They give him this very few lines in the film. He doesn't say an awful lot, Jason Statham. He's playing the strong, silent, action, tough guy role. And, Guy Ritchie films, they're normally written better for the lead actors. They give them a little bit more charisma. But it sounds like I'm criticising this film a lot. I did enjoy an awful lot of it. I just think it's structured very strangely. But there's a lot here to enjoy, and I did enjoy a lot of the slick action in it as well. I will give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe I'm being a little bit generous with that score, but it is certainly a very, very watchable film. So I hope you like this review. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back with more content and reviews on the channel very, very soon.